meatballs. We're making meatballs.
If you eat something and you dance, that's all you need to know. You can't taste it, but if you see me dancing, that's just showing you how amazing this is. Who doesn't love chicken parmesan? I love chicken parmesan. I am not one of those people who does not like chicken parmesan. And if you guys watched my first video ever on YouTube, my eggplant rollatini video, I started it off by saying, what is better than low carb comfort food? And I am saying it again. There is nothing better than low carb comfort food because number one, you don't feel like you're depriving yourself. And number two, it tastes delicious, especially this time of the year. So welcome back if you're new. My name is Kathleen Hart. We do all low carb recipes, diet tips, and tricks over here on the Little Piece of Hart channel. So I'm really glad you guys are joining me today. We're going to be making chicken parmesan meatballs. These are perfect for an appetizer for your dinner party, an appetizer for game day. They're also perfect if you want to have a low carb lunch or a low carb dinner. You just take these meatballs and serve them over your low carb noodle of choice. I like to do zucchini noodles or spaghetti squash. Either one is phenomenal, but you could also just put some toothpicks in these and pop them in your mouth as an appetizer. Oh my gosh. My mouth is already watering. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be a recipe that you guys use very often. And why do I know that? Because I'm a low carber and I use this recipe very often. So without further ado, let's get started and see what you need to make these meatballs. It's not much at all, but it's gonna be phenomenal. Low carb comfort food at its finest. Let's go.
The first thing you're gonna need is a 10-inch skillet. I'm using my cast iron skillet. I will link it in the description box below if you wanna pick it up. And it's great because it goes from stove to the oven without having to transfer it to a separate dish. So I definitely recommend a cast iron or a skillet you can put on the stove and in the oven. So the star of the show is some ground chicken, fresh parsley, 1 egg, finely chopped garlic. For spices, you are going to need some dried oregano, red pepper, and onion powder. You're also going to need some finely grated or shredded Parmesan cheese. And then for the topping, you're gonna need some extra Parm and then some mozzarella cheese. And in the background here, a little bit of salt and pepper for the meatballs. And then for sauce, today I am using the Victoria brand Fra Diavolo sauce. It's got a little bit of a spicy kick to it, and we just love it with meatballs of any kind. It has a lot of great flavor. If you're not a fan of Rayos, this is a second favorite of mine, also low carb that you can find in the grocery store, a little bit on the cheaper side.
I told you guys the list was short. Now that you know what we need to make this, let's get it all put together. First thing you wanna do, take off your rings, because we are gonna be mixing this with our hands. And to the ground chicken, you want to add in your Parmesan cheese, crack your egg in, mix in your spices, oregano, red pepper, and onion powder. You wanna go in with all of your garlic. All of your garlic, don't miss any. Some tried to get away. Your fresh parsley. And then you're just gonna do a little seasoning of salt and a little seasoning of pepper. Just a little pinch of each one. So then you wanna go in with clean hands and get this all worked together. Just mix everything until it's well combined. Okay, we are ready to go. Make sure your oven is preheated to 375 degrees, and let's meet me over by the stove and we'll start assembling the meatballs. Okay, so we have our oven preheated to 375. We have 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the cast iron skillet right now getting hot over medium-high heat. And then I have my meatball mixture right here. So all I'm going to do is roll this into small meatball shapes. This is where you can kind of get a little bit customized. If you wanna have big meatballs, that's fine. If you wanna do small ones, like if you're gonna do them for an appetizer, just like little mini meatballs, roll them smaller. Use an ice cream scoop if that's better for you. I'm just gonna eyeball it and make them kind of like a middle of the road medium size. So that's what we're gonna do. All I'm going to do, which I will show you, is form these into meatballs, put them in on one side, let them cook for a few minutes until they're golden brown, flip them over, let them cook for a little bit longer, and then I'll show you. We're gonna add the sauce and the cheese and then pop it into the oven, and it's literally that easy. So let's get started. They're out of the oven. Don't they look so delicious? I put a little bit of chopped parsley. I just roughly like broke it apart with my hands and just put it on top just to give that pop of green. But isn't this just like mouth-wateringly amazing? I told you guys, this is gonna make a great dinner or an appetizer for your friends for whatever get together you have going on this holiday season. What I also wanted to mention is be so very careful because this pan is burning hot right now, like on fire. So I want you just to make sure you're not grabbing it and make sure when you're serving, you either serve in a different plate or put one of those little mitt covers on and let people know that it's very hot. So I'm going to grab one of these meatballs. Ooh. They're still super hot. Ooh. And grab a little bit of sauce. That's the best part about cooking it in the pan and then cooking it in the oven. All the flavorful bits from cooking the chicken come into the sauce. Oh, it's just amazing. And the chicken is so lean, so you're not gonna get a lot of the grease that you would get maybe from ground beef. So it's perfect. Okay. Can I get a bigger plate? I know, right? These smell so good. Oh my gosh, they're hot. Give me a sec. Might have to cool this down a minute. It's heavenly. Heavenly. Chicken parm, mind you, is one of my favorite high carb meals. The breaded chicken, everything that comes along with it. But this will satisfy that craving like you wouldn't believe. That's good. Go to the link down below. It will take you to my blog. The full recipe is gonna be written out there. Everything you need to make this. I hope you guys liked this recipe. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Sorry that I'm pointing the fork at you. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new. We do everything low carb here. And I will see you guys very soon with a new recipe. But until next time, happy cooking. All of the flavorful bits of the from cooking the all the